Hello guys, how are you all? I Anurag once again welcome you all on this online learning platform of Apala School of Education, Apala Online Pathshala. Here in this video we are going to discuss the second part of the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. So without wasting any more time, let's start. Let's have a quick recap to the previous part of the poem. In the poem, Spender portrays the pathetic picture of the children at a slum school. The children look miserable and poverty-stricken. They have pale faces and hair like rootless weeds. Burdens of life keep their heads weighed down. Their growth is stunted and they inherit twisted bones and diseases from their father. Literature and Shakespeare works are useless for these children. This so-called civilized world is of no importance for them. The future of these children is foggy and uncertain here in this classroom. River, caves and starry places exist only in their dreams. Now let's see what the poet wants to say in the third stanza of this poem. Now Spender says, surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example. The portrait of Shakespeare is hung on the wall of the classroom. We all know that Shakespeare is a renowned personality, is a renowned figure of English literature throughout the world. But for these children sitting in the classroom of a slum, Shakespeare holds no interest. Shakespeare and his works are of no use to them because he can't help in improving their cursed fate. The poet also says that the map, the world map, is also a bad example for these children because the map is created by the rich and the mighty people of the world. It is the world of the rich. The poor children cannot see their world, their slums in this map created by rich and powerful people, and thus this map is also a bad example for them. The poet further says, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. The world is full of attractions. Beautiful ships, the warmth of the sun, and love are such beautiful things. They entice these children. The children of this slum are tempted to steal them because in their lives there is no beauty, there is no warmth, there is no love. They are deprived of all these beautiful things of the world, and thus they are tempted to steal these things for their lives. Spender further says, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes from fog to endless night. He says that these poor children are living in their narrow, crowded lanes or holes. They try to run away from their miserable surroundings. They try to run away from their pathetic conditions. But there is no end of this kind of life. It starts from the fog of uncertainty and ends with their death. There is no hope for these children to come out of their sorrow, to come out of their pain, to come out of this pathetic condition. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass, like bottle bits on stones. Poet says that these poor children are living in the slum areas of the city. These slum areas like the heap of garbage, like the heap of slag, and these children are living on these slags. These children are living their lives on these heaps. It is like narrow crowded lanes or holes. These children are malnutrited. They are not getting good nourishment. And thus it seems that their bones are peeping through their skins. The poor children are wearing broken steel rimmed spectacles. Their spectacles look like pieces of broken bottles on stones. The poet says all of their time and space are foggy slum. So, blot their maps with slum as big as doom. Spender says that all their time and space is spent in those dirty and foggy slums. So, these slums are living hells. These slums are in hell-like conditions. And the poor children, the poor people are living in such pathetic and miserable conditions in these slums. Thus, the poet asks to blot the world of the rich and the great people with these slums. The poet wants to fill the world of these mighty people with these dirty slums, so that they can also understand the pity of these poor people who are living in these slums in miserable conditions. इस तरह से इस पोएम के थर्ड स्टेंजा में स्टीफन स्पेंडर ये बताने की कोशिश करता है कि क्लासरूम में लगा शेक्सपियर का चित्र इन बच्चों के लिए किसी भी तरह से ठीक नहीं है। यह एक नेक चित्र नहीं है, क्योंकि शेक्सपियर को दुनिया अंग्रेजी के एक विद्वान के रूप में जानती है, जबकि ये बच्चे अंग्रेजी से कोसों कोसों दूर हैं। इस क्लासरूम में लगा हुआ मैप भी इन बच्चों के लिए एक अच्छा उदाहरण प्रस्तुत नहीं करता है, क्योंकि इस मैप को दुनिया के पावरफुल और दुनिया के रिच लोगों ने बनाया है। इस मैप में ये बच्चे अपनी दुनिया को, अपनी इस स्लम को, अपने इस स्कूल को इस मैप में वो नहीं देख पाते हैं, और इसलिए ये मैप भी उन लोगों के लिए, इन बच्चों के लिए एक पूरा एक उदाहरण है। यहाँ पर टंगे शिप्स के, यहाँ पर टंगे एक उगते हुए सूरज के, और यहाँ पर प्यार से भरे हुए इन चित्रों को देखकर बच्चे केवल इन्हें चुराने के लिए लालायित होते हैं, क्योंकि उनके खुद के जीवन में खूबसूरती की, सूरज की गर्माहट की और जीवन में प्यार की कमी है। उनकी जिंदगी इस स्लम की तंग गलियों में सिमट कर रह गई है। ये स्लम की गलियां बिल्कुल संकरे छेदों की तरह हैं, माउस होल्स की तरह हैं, क्रैम्प्ड होल्स की तरह हैं, जहां पर उन लोगों की जिंदगियां सिमट कर रह गई है और वो इस दुनिया से, इस स्लम के बाहर की खूबसूरती को महसूस ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। इन बच्चों का भविष्य, इन बच्चों का जीवन यहाँ पर धुंध से शुरू होकर एक ऐसी रात्रि में ख़त्म होता है, एक ऐसी रात्रि में समाप्त होता है जिस रात्रि की कोई सीमा नहीं है, कोई अंत नहीं है, एंडलेस नाइट है। ये स्लम्स कचरों के ढेर है जहाँ पर ये बच्चे रहते हैं। इन बच्चों को न्यूट्रिशन नहीं मिलता है, जिस कारण इनकी हड्डियाँ इनकी स्किन्स के बाहर झांकती हुई नजर आती हैं। कचरे के ढेर पर बैठे इन बच्चों ने अपनी आंखों पर चश्मे चढ़ाए हुए हैं जो कि टूटे हुए हैं। इन टूटे हुए चश्मों को उन्होंने जोड़ तोड़ के ठीक किया है, जोड़ तोड़ के सही बिठाया है, और इन टूटे हुए चश्मों के कांच कुछ इस तरह से लगते हैं जैसे कि पत्थर पर किसी टूटी हुई बोतल के टुकड़े बिखरे हुए हों। इन बच्चों की पूरी दुनिया, इन बच्चों का पूरा समय और इन की पूरी दुनिया जो है वो केवल और केवल ये फॉगी स्लम्स हैं। ये धुंध से भरी झुग्गी झोंपड़ियां हैं, ये गंदी बस्तियां हैं। इसलिए कवि पूरी तरह से प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए कहता है कि इन नक्शों को केवल और केवल इन गंदी बस्तियों से भर डालो। इस नक्शे के ऊपर जो भी खूबसूरत चीज़ें हैं उन्हें हटाकर इस नक्शे को पूरा का पूरा केवल और केवल इन गंदी बस्तियों से भर दो, ताकि अमीर और माइटी लोग भी ये देख सकें कि इन लोगों की स्थिति कितनी दयनीय है। Now let's see the figure of speeches used by Stephen Spender in this stanza. The first figure of speech he used is alliteration. In the beginning line of this stanza, surely Shakespeare, the sound of sir is repeated in surely and Shakespeare. In one more line, from fog to endless night, the sound of fur is also repeated in the word from and fog. The second figure of speech used by Spender is simile, as big as doom. In this stanza, the statement as big as doom, the lives of poor people, the lives of poor children is compared to doom. The word doom stands for the end of the world, and thus it is a simile. The sentence "like bottle bits of stone" is also an example of simile, because in this sentence, the spectacles worn by the children is compared to bottle bits. Another figure of speech used by Spender in this stanza is antithesis. In the sentence "from fog to endless night," he used antithesis because fog and endless night are two opposite ideas used by this poet. Now here are some difficult words from the stanza third for you, so that you can understand this stanza in a much better way. Read these words thoroughly to understand the deep meaning of the words used in the stanza third. These are some questions based on the comprehension of this stanza. Read these questions thoroughly and also write them in your notebooks. In the end of this video, some questions are also given for your own practice. Read those questions thoroughly and answer those questions in your notebooks. Hope you all enjoyed this video. See you soon in the next part of this poem. Till then, keep smiling and keep learning. Thank you.